Alright guys, well I'm back today with a brand new LPVO that just hit Amazon, and I think this is one of the absolute best options you can possibly get for under $100, including the mount, removable throw lever built in right here, as well as 2 flip-up lens covers in the box, making this a complete package. And here's the kicker, this price is $89.99 with free Amazon Prime shipping. On top of that, they have a current promotion going on right now that you can actually get 2 free bonus items, which are sets of splatter targets. And when you add those to your cart simultaneously with the optic in the description below, you'll actually get 2 of those packs for free. When you go all the way to proceed to checkout, you'll see that discount applied. So you can get this optic with the mount, the flip-up lens covers, and those splatter targets for $90. Now, just because it's $90 doesn't mean it's the greatest deal of all time. What makes it the greatest deal that I've seen right now anyways on an LPVO for under $100 is all the specs and features and performance down at the range. Let's dig into those, starting with the basic specs and features, the size. Now, this product is about 11.61 inches long, so it is going to be a long and large LPVO, but because of that, we are running a 34 millimeter tube diameter. And never in the history of the channel have I seen a 34 millimeter diameter tube on an optic anywhere close to $100. That tube size is generally reserved for optics costing well above $500 to $600, and occasionally you'll find it rolled down to maybe a $200 or $300 optic, but you don't get the glass clarity, and you get a lot of fisheye effect on some of those optics because they try to cheap out since they went with the larger tube on the lens system. This company didn't do that. The Tech Hunter LPVO has amazing glass clarity, which we'll talk about in a second, but this is a 34 millimeter tube diameter, allowing a ton of light transmission and a ton of adjustment up, down, left, and right, so you can get everything dialed in perfectly. Included in the box again is that mount, and this is for the 30 millimeter mount. It locks up rock solid, really nice offset mount on here. Torque specs kind of included on there with a print, so you know exactly what the torque specs are. Even if you decide to throw all your paperwork and box away, you'll still have those there. And then we have the cross bolt design, which is incredibly convenient and really easy to mount everything up, and mounting was a breeze with no issues whatsoever. So just a solid mount in general. And honestly, this mount that I received with the optic inside the package is very comparable to other $30 and $40 mounts that I've had, and honestly some $50 and $60 mounts I've had on the channel. So I really have no idea how they're accomplishing this at $89.99. This is one of those ones that are going to sell out fast. The flip up lens covers are nothing to write home about, but they are there, they do work, and they do flip up, so the fact that it's included is pretty darn awesome. The zoom lever in the back is nice. It's removable, so if you don't like that, you can unthread that. Just little cool features like this, again, you generally see on scopes costing upwards of $200 and $300. Now, a lot of scopes are rolling down this trickle technology into $125, $130 optics, but when you get sub $100, you are really making a ton of sacrifices, and I'm not finding them in this scope, especially not with this throw lever. One thing to note is it's not the smoothest zoom that I've ever felt. And then I have to remind myself, this is less than $100 and it's really good for that general price point. I would say that the zoom actual action itself, like the feel of this, feels on par with other $150 optics. But again, we're like $50 or $60 cheaper than that. So it definitely does the job. Moving on to the turrets themselves, they are capped. And then we have nice adjustments here. The clicks are decent. And again, they're comparable with $200 and $300 optics. One click equals a half MOA or point. Yep, 0.5 MOA, a half MOA. That is real fine adjustment on there, and it works out incredibly well. We do have illumination on the side, which illuminates that center aspect portion of the optic itself, and it works out incredibly well. We will be discussing the reticle choice on this particular one, and this is a second focal plane optic, meaning as you zoom in and out, the reticle stays the same size throughout the zoom levels, meaning it's very easy to use at the 1 power setting, but the bullet drop compensation and ranging is only technically effective at the 6 power setting for a 1-to-1 copy. A lot of guys might split the difference between the 1 and 6 and hit the 3 and do the 50% math, but for me, I just like to run it at the 6 if I'm going to be using ranging or bullet drop compensation. Now let's talk about the glass clarity. A lot of optics companies that I've discussed with always tell me that the glass is going to be the most expensive part of the optic. So when I heard that this LPVO with all the specs and features was coming in sub 100, I figured they were using cheap glass. Man, was I wrong. Looking down this optic, again, I have no idea how they are doing this. I am completely blown away by the glass clarity and light transmission. They're using 9 layers of anti-reflective coating for a 99.7 claimed percentage of light transmission. Combine that with a 34 millimeter diameter tube, and this thing is bright, crystal clear, and works amazing. It also features an ultra-wide field of view at 100 yards, as well as just at the 1 power setting. It works amazing, and these guys have really nice glass inside this LPVO. Just a very good job there. So clear glass, really nice clarity, really nice light transmission. So what? They must be sacrificing either at the 1 or the 6 with like a fisheye or narrow field of view or shortened eye box. No, somehow they're achieving that as well. Like at the 1 power setting, this truly feels like a red dot. Like both eyes open. You have the adjustable diopter on the back to get it dialed in for your eyes. And at the 1 power setting, both eyes open, boom, boom, boom. You're engaged in the target. No problem whatsoever. Man, it's killer. Zoom into the 6 power setting. And again, wide field of view at 100 yards. Like it's doing well. Very clear glass. The image is not distorted. No fisheye effects. No edge distortion. Just good all the way around. The reticle itself is pretty nice. It is a what I would call like duplex leader lines into a circle dot reticle system with hash marks moving in and down for ranging, bullet drop compensation, windage, and moving holds. All of that is really nice. I am going to nitpick just for a second because I've reviewed literally 300 LPVOs in the course of my career as a YouTube reviewer, and I always like that circle dot aiming system, but I like instead of that center dot to be a dot, I like it to be a chevron. That's something easy companies can do, and I feel like it gives you that infinity point. So at distance, that center dot, maybe at 100, 200, or even 300 yards when you're taking shots, because this is fully capable of doing that with the glass clarity, you don't obscure a lot of your target. Again, nitpicking, and then I remind myself, like, I nitpick that on an $800 or a $900 scope because that's a personal preference of mine, and we are talking sub $100. The illumination is definitely bright, but I wouldn't necessarily call it like ultra daytime bright. Like in the bright sun, it's better to turn the illumination off and use the black etched reticle system, which makes perfect sense to contrast on the target. But even at twilight, inside the home, dusk conditions, the illumination gets super bright for all of those applications. For hunting applications again, or personal defense applications in the home. In summary, are there a few small things that could use some improvement? Yes. And then remember that this is an $89.99 free prime shipping optic. And if you're watching this video with you when it's posting, and that's what a lot of subscribers will notice, I try to bring you guys deals and value all the time. This is blowing me away at the quality and performance, and I would not be surprised if I had seen this on the shelf for $250 to $300. I still would be giving it a glowing review. At $90, this is an absolute no-brainer. Unless there's some hidden thing that I'm missing, this thing is absolutely awesome. I've run a lot of rounds through it, more than usual for the first shots because it's a brand new company to the channel. The Tech Hunters LPVO 1 to 6, I'm calling, in my humble opinion anyways, one of the best LPVOs you can possibly get right now for about $100, and in this case $90 and some free targets. All the information and linking will be in the description below. Thanks to Tech Hunters for sending us out and helping out the channel. They sent me an email. Once I saw the specs and features and the price, I knew I had to give it a try. I don't have to send it back, so thanks to them for sponsoring the video. Hope you guys have a great day, and make sure you subscribe to the channel for more deal alerts and updates as this progresses, especially on a lot of the Tech Hunters optics. Now I want to try like every single one in their catalog. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.